Good afternoon. It's good to welcome you as we gather for our midweek Bible study. And I welcome you, those in person, as well as those who are joining online live or later on today or this week. We're glad that you're here. We have finished the first 6 chapters of Paul's letter to the church at Rome, and we're moving into chapter 7 and eventually into chapter 8. And just as a reminder, Paul is continuing to unpack this picture that he has drawn towards the end of chapter 5. And you'll remember in that picture, he's painted 2 kingdoms, the kingdom of Christ and the kingdom of Adam, the kingdom of grace and life and the kingdom of sin and death. And you'll remember that in chapter 6, we explored those 2 kingdoms from the standpoint of baptism and from the standpoint of slavery and freedom. And you'll continue to hear those images as we move through chapter 7 and into chapter 8. So today we're going to begin the next big section, which is chapter 7, verse 1 through chapter 8, verse 11. And on the surface, the theme of this large section is the Torah, the Jewish law. And so we, as Americans, Christians, we may not be all that interested in what Paul has to say about the Jewish law, because guess what? We're not Jewish, are we? And yet, it is an important part of Paul's understanding of what the gospel of Jesus Christ is all about. And so we have to have an understanding of what Paul is talking about here so that we can gain a better understanding of what the basis of our Christian faith is all about. And so that's what we're going to be looking at probably the next few weeks. I think on your handout I put one of the ways to view Paul's writing to this point. I found this to be a helpful piece of information. Think about chapter 5 as Paul building a foundation. And then in chapter 6, he kind of builds a platform on top of that foundation. And then as he moves into chapter 7 and through verse 11 in chapter 8, he builds what we might call the main part of the building, okay? It's the working part of this building that he is constructing. And then as he moves beyond verse 11 in chapter 8 into verse 12 and beyond, he builds a further floor on top of the main building, and then he shows us the beautiful view that results from looking out that top. Okay, so I think that's a kind of a neat way